How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we have a backlog cleanup video. Now, I purchased a lot of games on this account, and I just haven't done them. As you can see, like, I've got quite a few. Wait, does it say 110 in total? And some of them have like 2 or 3 games involved because it has the Bioshock. It's got 1 and 2, and with like Crash Bandicoot, it's got 3 games in there. So what we're doing today is just clearing some of them up, and let's get straight into the first game of the video. The first game in the video is one that I bought over 8 months ago. I played it on my Xbox when it first originally came out, but I just never completed it. It's none other than Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. This game was set in Middle-earth. In my opinion, this is one of those places that has the most potential when it comes to video games. I'm a huge fan of the films, so when I originally played this, I had the highest of hopes possible. And now coming back to it, they was just around the same level. I was so looking forward to playing this again. And when I first started out, it definitely was hitting those expectations. The story of the game is basically you're a ranger from Gondor whose family are all killed by the right hand of Sauron. He also tries to kill you as well, but when you're dying, the spirit he's trying to summon goes into you instead of him. And now you're basically not allowed to die. And you're trying to seek revenge on the right hand of Sauron for killing your family. You find yourself in Mordor, and throughout the journey, the spirit that's attached itself to you is also trying to work out who he is and why he's there. You unlock his memories by following Gollum. Yeah guys, Gollum is in this game as well. And he leads you to the different artifacts that are to do with the spirit's life. I won't ruin who he is, but it's pretty cool. And you slowly but surely try to make your way to the right hand of Sauron. I won't go into too much more detail just because I don't want to ruin the rest of the story for everyone. As I started getting further into the game, I did sort of find some issues. This is all obviously just my opinion. Other people might really enjoy this stuff. But first of all, it's a small one, but I really just wasn't a fan of the camera angle. In all fairness, I didn't actually check if you could change it. But yeah, I just really wasn't a fan, and I don't know, I just couldn't be bothered to look. I think I might just be a bit spoiled with like recent games having just good angles now. I also didn't like the fact that when you're performing a finisher, you can still get like attacked by other people, and if you have to parry them mid-finisher, it just doesn't kill them. To be fair, I went from playing like Black Flag with the most like simple combat ever, where you just press the buttons and they will just die, rather than you actually having to finish the animation before they die. So yeah, I guess I'll cut them a little bit of slack for that, because it's personal preference really at that point. However, the most infuriating part about this game for me was that when you're fighting a group of enemies, another group will just randomly come across you and start joining in as well. And then another one, and then another one, until all of a sudden I'm there just fighting 3 captains, bodyguards, and a whole host of other mini bosses in one fight. It's just crazy to me. I just don't understand how that happens. Obviously the enemy system in the game is amazing. They wouldn't have patented it or copyrighted it or whatever they've done if it wasn't that great. But yeah, I just hated that mechanic. It was just so frustrating. Now, with all of the games in this video, I haven't actually started any of them yet. Well, I hadn't started any of them before I started the video, if you know what I mean. And annoyingly with this one, I didn't actually get to finish it. I think for me to fully complete this game, it's going to take a few attempts. I definitely enjoyed it, but as I said, there was some mechanics that just frustrated me. And if I play it for a long period of time, I'll just get more sort of annoyed, if you know what I mean. I only managed to actually get 12 trophies in the end. There are a few unmissable trophies to do with the story, but there was a couple of miscellaneous trophies in there as well. I completed a dagger mission for the Legend of Shadow trophy, a bow mission for the Legend of the Maker trophy, a sword mission for Legend of Vengeance trophy. I then unlocked 2 rune slots on the bow and 3 sword rune slots for both the Strike True and the Cold Light trophy, and the last 2 were the Free Folk trophy for completing an Outcast rescue mission, and then Repaid in Blood for completing a Vendetta mission as well. So as I said, unfortunately I had to stop there. Don't worry, I will definitely be finishing the game off in one of my next few backlog videos, I guess. Once I've started a game, I can't not finish it. The only exceptions to this rule though are sports games. I'm never going to get the FC25 Platinum, and I've come to terms with that myself, to be honest.
The next game I've chosen to play is one that was actually free around 2 months ago on PS Plus, and that's Cocoon, an indie puzzle game that looks pretty fun. I'd never even heard of it before it was on PS Plus, to be honest, but I'm glad that I ended up downloading it. My plan for this game was just to go through the story, exploring however I wanted to, and not worrying about any of the collectibles or anything like that. And then finally, clearing up the collectibles at the end. It should be a nice and easy one, as there's a lot of checkpoints, so I should be able to find them all no problem. I'm not sure what to say the story of this game is, but I can tell you there's a lot of puzzles, and I'm not afraid to admit I had to do some research on how to solve some of the puzzles. The first couple of areas were fine, no problem, but then it did start to get a bit more difficult and more intricate, where you had to travel from one world inside another world and then get another world inside the other. It was, yeah, a lot. It was all about strategy and problem solving, really. And I thought I was good at problem solving until I played this game. I know like chemo melted my brain a bit, but I didn't realise it done it this much. The trophies for this game are mostly very linear, and they're focused around completing each sort of world, culminating in different boss fights for the different creatures that you come across. There are only 18 trophies in total for the game, with most of them being for releasing moon ancestors, which is the sort of collectibles, I guess, for this game, which happened to be what I got my first trophy for. I then progressed through the story some more, swapping between getting story trophies and releasing moon ancestor trophies. I'm definitely starting to enjoy these sorts of slower paced indie games more. I started out with Jasant in one of my previous videos. I don't know if you want to check that out. The link will be either at the end of the video or in the description, which was honestly a complete breath of fresh air. And now with Cocoon, it's definitely worth giving it a go. It's really fun. And if you think you're good at problem solving, then it might just give you a little bit of a challenge. Let me know if you give it a go in the comments, and if there was anywhere that you got stuck like me. With some more grinding out of the way, I was actually right near the end of the game. Like I said at the beginning, I've no idea what the story was, but it was very enjoyable, and I do recommend the game. After receiving the final story trophy, Cosmic Architect, I checked the trophy list and I had only missed 2 moon ancestors throughout the whole game. I got the first one, and then it was on to the last trophy called Skin Deep, and after that popped, we got the platinum. One game out of the backlog fully complete, thank God. Okay, I think I'm going to keep these videos to 3 games, to be honest. So let's get into the final game of the video. Last but not least, we have a game I played from my childhood, and it actually brought back a hell of a lot of nostalgia for me. We have Spyro the Dragon. It's a very fun platformer type game where you play as Spyro and you have to defeat Nasty Nork, who's the enemy. I don't really know what he is, to be honest, but yeah, he's a Nork who turned all of the other dragons to stone. My plan for the platinum was to try and 100% every level along the way, and then when I finished the last level, the platinum trophy will just pop. Sounds extremely simple when you put it like that, and it was, honestly, until it all went wrong. If you've played Spyro, you know it's a nice, easy and simple game, and the first area has virtually no challenge to it really, except for me. I managed to have some issues. It all started after my first trophy, hop, skip and jump for finding the hidden entrance to Sunny Flight. Sunny Flight was so hard for me, I'd honestly forgot about those levels completely, and the mechanics of flying and destroying all of the objects was just lost on me completely. It's safe to say I really struggled on all of the flying levels, not just this one, until about 75% of the way through the game. Then they started to make a bit more sense and I could actually do them. But yeah, at first I just had no idea. I went in with no plan. I think that was my issue. After my first trophy, I started to explore and made my way to the town square, where I got my second trophy of the game, Leaf on the Wind, for gliding to the secret egg thief area. I would be lying to you if I said I made this jump first time. I won't show you every time I missed a jump, but just know it took me around about 5 minutes to make it. Yes, I know, I'm a pro gamer. The next few trophies came quite quickly for me. I started in Stonehill by flaming 10 sheep and getting the sheep kebab trophy. Then onto Dark Hollow, where I lit 2 bonfires for the Light My Fire trophy. Then onto the first boss fight of the game against Toasty. Not gonna lie, I actually had so much more trouble with the dogs compared to Toasty himself, and I managed to get the Burnt Toast trophy for defeating him without getting hit first time. Like, I'm sure that everyone else has done that, but I was kind of proud of myself for that. And then the final trophy for the first area was Boom for taking a trip with a balloonist. The next area was where it started to actually go a little bit wrong for me. It started out fine. I was still getting trophies very quickly with What's in the Box trophy for unlocking the strong chest in Dr. Shemp, and Shoot the Moon for using a cannon or to dispatch a taunting Nork. But through my excitement, I'd forgotten an entire area. If we just stop the footage right there, I'd looked straight at the ice caves, but I turned around and went the other way. I don't know if the sight of the door just scared me at that moment or what, but I just didn't fancy it at all. But don't worry, I will be back later to fully complete the area and defeat all of the ski Norks. Next, I managed to get the Birds of Feather trophy and the Bird Brain trophy for flaming every vulture in Clifftown and charging a vulture as well. With Clifftown, getting to the area where the vultures are was actually shockingly difficult for me. It's similar to the other one in the first sort of area, where it took me ages. I don't know how I made that glide so much harder than what it actually was. But again, yeah, it took me ages, and gliding just really is not my speciality, which again is very prevalent throughout the game. The last thing I got done before I left for the next area was flame all fairies in Night Flight for the Hot Wings 1 trophy. And then in the next area, I actually got the Hot Wings 2 trophy for doing the same in the Crystal Flight as well. In this next area, it was very easy and I just managed to get them done pretty quickly. It introduced you to these new enemy types where you could either run through them because they had shiny armor on, or you had to flame the wizards before they changed the landscape in front of you. And after running through 4 armored druids, I actually managed to get a trophy. As I said, this area was very easy, so I won't go through every trophy, but I will say the game introduces you to a brand new mechanic where you can basically supercharge a run when you go down specific ramps. It allows you to take out bigger enemies that would usually be able to get you before that you can get close to them. And then some of them you can only take out when you are supercharged. I'd then say I was onto the hardest area in the game, which is Beastmakers. And there's only one reason this area is the hardest one, and everyone knows why. Of course, it's Treetops. Now don't get me wrong, Treetops is a good level. For just going from start to finish, it's fine. But the 100% is just insanity. The precision on the jumps you need to make are just crazy, especially when you consider that the game is only a 2 out of 10 for difficulty. I understand like the rest of the game's not hard, and arguably Treetops isn't that hard once you get the mechanics down, but the precision you need, it's not easy. In my opinion, it takes a little while to get used to it. This level is definitely one of the more challenging ones. While trying to get this level done, I managed to jump off every supercharge ramp for the launch date trophy. Then once that was all done, I was on to another flight level, but this one I had to actually complete the whole level without touching the ground. And that's not something I'd even been able to do yet on any of the flying levels. I completed certain things, but never like the whole thing altogether. I knew for the platinum I needed to complete it, so I sat there until I was able to do it. It took me a total of 12 minutes, which doesn't sound long obviously, but when you're constantly restarting and getting so close to completing it, I was just more relieved once I'd done it than excited. Now it was onto the Dreamweaver's world, and I started by collecting 500 gems in Metalhead for the Gems in the Rough trophy. Then it was a few combat trophies in a row, so I defeated 3 demon dogs in large form for the Bad Doggies trophy, charged through 3 armored fools in a row for the Fool's Errand trophy. I defeated all the tin soldiers for the Scrap Metal trophy, and then finally I defeated 4 nightmare beasts in one glide for the Jackstacular trophy. It's a very difficult one to say, that one. I now had Icy Flight to complete. This was another flight level, and again I just struggled. I had more confidence after finishing the last one, but to be honest, this one took me even longer. But thankfully I did manage to get it done in the end, and I received the Fly Like an Eagle trophy for my troubles. I was now into the final area of the game. It's called Nasty's World. Here there are only 4 trophies to collect. The first 3 I was able to do straight away, but the 4th I would only unlock once I 100% the rest of the game. So I started with completing Nork Cove without killing any rats for the Rat-tastic trophy. I destroyed 6 gears in Twilight Harbour for the What Really Grinds My Gears trophy. And then in the final boss battle for the entire game, I made Nasty Nork complete 5 laps for the Dragon and On trophy. After completing the final boss fight, you find out there's one more level that you need to unlock. And you can only do that once you've 100% complete every area. And so that's what I started trying to do. Along the way, I got 3 other trophies I had missed. I started with a nice and easy one in Barnstormer for doing a loop around an arch. Very easy, I don't know how I didn't do that before. Then Rocketeer for lighting 3 fireworks within 15 seconds. This one was a bit more difficult. I didn't actually know where I needed to do it. I think I found one of the fireworks the first time I played through that sort of level. But yeah, I watched a video, I can't lie, and then I found the other 2. So yeah, I managed to get that done next. And then finally, when I went back to finish the Ice Caverns, the level I'd actually missed earlier in the game, I got the Triathlon trophy for defeating all 3 Ski Norks. We now find ourselves onto the final level of the game, Nasty's Loot. You get 1 trophy for unlocking the level, and then the final trophy for collecting all the gems. Thankfully, it's a nice easy level with minimal enemies, and all you need to do is just fly around and loot everywhere. I finished off the level by finding Nasty's room full of motivational posters amongst other things, and collected the final few gems, which earned me the Hoarder trophy, and then finally I earned the all important Platinum trophy. Overall, I definitely recommend Spyro. It offers some challenge when it comes to levels like Treetops, and then it's still relatively simple as well in other places. I think the 2 out of 10 is justified. It's definitely not higher than a 2 out of 10. But yeah, anyway, that's the final game of the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this, or even this 50-hour platinum challenge that I completed previously. Have a great day, guys. Safe.